We should be live now.
Woo!
Groovy.
Groovy. MacGruber.
Making life-saving inventions
Look,
out of
there we
household
are.
materials.
I see us. Colin's watching with me. I just heard you. Okay, closing. Excuse me.
Just wait a little bit and you can hear yourself laughing at yourself, watching yourself.
Dude,
Sure.
I'm not ready for that.
The Mob Crush app on my phone has a ridiculous delay.
Mm.
Ooh, he added his stuff. Wait, you didn't put Sierra West in there?
You put it in there.
Oh, okay.
Have you noticed he doesn't like to do the same things that you do?
Well, no, I don't remember. I had a reason for not picking it. I didn't save it to my list.
Mm.
I think originally I was only browsing through pre-order stuff, and it was not on that list.
Gotcha. What are you trying to do?
But I'm using that as my excuse right now.
Well, I'm adding stuff to the thing, but I'm used to using Excel, and the formula entry is at the top,
Oh,
but in Sheets it's at the bottom,
gotcha.
or at least when I'm using the app.
I set the volume for the intro/outro music to halfway,
Okay.
so it shouldn't be troublesome for me to
Do you
navigate
need
it.
to test it?
No, that's what I did earlier.
Okay.
So I won't be getting this from Philip.
Oh, that reminds me. Oh, I don't need to do that. I tried to boost the outboard audio.
Mm. Pepsi, 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 Pepsi.
All right, try talking now.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm talking.
What was going on?
I would love to talk to you about how much I am talking right now,
Oh my.
which is enough to satisfy you, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Am I
Okay.
satisfying you?
I think so. I'm not seeing it go into the red too much.
I would like to talk to you to satisfaction.
Got lots of yeller.
I just heard
Mm.
that Colin wants to satisfy me.
That's what I heard
That's
too.
what I'm all about.
Okay.
I'm all about that satisfaction.
First of all, sir, if there's going to be any inappropriateness, I'm the one who's going to deliver it. That's my role.
This is strictly not innuendo. It's
This is in your door.
I'm like
I'm-
Tobias. This is Tobias from Arrested Development. Like
I
I'm
am
doing
the
it
reason-
unintentionally.
See, I am the reason that this podcast can't be on like clean-cast sites, okay? It's my job.
Only the live version.
Only the live version. That's right.
I
Everything
dumb it
else he
down.
just cuts. He just
It's-
like
it's-
turns Phil's mic off.
You guys were too busy talking and nobody caught my pun there.
What?
He said it's not so much innuendo, and I said it's as it is in your door. Nothing?
Nothing.
Not even a
Sorry.
badump shh.
Nope.
Not for that.
Where's
Sorry.
the wah wah wah?
Bump, bump,
Buying
bump.
stuff. I didn't hear that in my headphones. Buying stuff. There it is.
You gotta
You gotta
mute the
that.
iPad.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I had
yeah.
turned the volume up because I was watching a show a couple
Way to
weeks ago,
go.
or a couple days ago.
You wanna try it again?
Buying stuff.
There you go.
It's good for this episode.
Buying stuff. Buying stuff.
If I had to summarize this entire episode into one clip,
Buying stuff. Mm-hmm. I want to touch.
Oh,
You
are
broke
they?
it.
Sold? I'm easy. Is this?
That's a good one for this episode too.
what?
We represent but are legally distinct
I don't think
What is
so.
it?
Asmati.
as Modi Games.
No, it's a totally different company.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They have games that I
might-
have no interest in.
It's probably a foreign thing where they're just
What are
similar.
you thinking it was like?
Asmodee.
Asmodee,
Okay.
which
I'm sure it means something in Italian. Whereas Asmodee is French.
I have no idea. But wouldn't Asmodee come after Asmodee? Oh,
Well, because
Asmodee
usually
is
Asmodee is the
parent.
yeah. They'll
Okay.
do it by studio, like Days of Wonder and that sort of thing.
Gotcha. Not corporate owner.
Thanks.
It
That's
detected Malay.
but yet didn't translate. To
Didn't
anything.
translate to anything. Yeah.
Are you like translating?
Yeah, I tried Google Translate.
English detected.
Yeah. I tried to do Google Translate to see if it would auto detect, and it didn't. Okay, we're ready to go.
Not into the
We
mic.
need to.
Not into the mic.
Oh, sorry.
All right, because I got to get up super early tomorrow.
Remember,
Me too.
big booming laughs. Lean away
Your
from the
wife
microphone.
is sending you stuff.
I noticed.
Did you hear me?
What?
Big booming laughs. Lean away from the microphone.
I'll try to remember.
Ah!
Or screams also.
Because Chris licks the box. So gross.
Yeah, I'm fully expecting to see Philip lunge at some point. No? You got your licks all the way?
I did.
He got all over it.
50 Shades of
earlier.
Rangers.
50 Shades of Rangers.
That's a good one.
Oh, man, that'd be an episode title if I ever saw one. All right.
Right after Forever Red.
I'm ready.
More like Forever Red, White, and Blue.
Boom!
Mm.
America.
I
Actually,
got
it's
red, white, and blue in my necklace.
Captain Texas, but that's okay.
Congrats.
Sure.
All right. Start in 3, 2, 1. This podcast is brought to you by our patrons over at patreon.com/boardsandsword. Go check it out and see how you can help support this show. Live from Swordplay Studios, it's time for Boards and Swords.
That's right. Coming to you now in 3D.
You're crazy.
If you're you can move the slider backwards and forwards, and it's 4D.
Yeah. If I hum at low enough frequency, I can, make it seem like there's an earthquake going on with the right sound system.
I've seen that where people put like the bass drum in the floor, so like
Mm.
the music, like a movie comes on, it's like blah, and the whole floor shakes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, but who cares about that? Because this is a podcast where we have fun talking about board games.
That's right.
Hey guys, this is the best time of year to be talking about board games
Why is that?
because it's Gen Con time, or it's almost Gen Con time.
Oh, yeah.
A week from now, we will be there.
Who
And
the
by-
heck is talking about this show anyway?
What?
Show.
You're Chris, right?
Yeah.
And you're Philip, right?
Today.
I'm Colin. And who's this?
You interrupt.
I'm Cindy.
I was
There we
gonna
go.
get
Got it
around
out of
to
the way.
that.
Keep going.
So the important half of us
Here, I'm
will
gonna
be
yeah,
at
get
Gen
rid of
Con
that.
next week.
Woo,
Did you just say the important half of us?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
because that's all he cares about.
And
Yeah.
dare I say, the prettiest half.
That's true. The
Alright.
beard. We are the beardiest.
We are the beardiest
Excuse
half.
me?
Yeah,
Like,
beardiest,
what?
yeah.
Beardiest half.
I'll give you that.
I'm about to walk out.
We're gonna go weirdo beardos.
Hey, I
What?
make the show.
She does.
What?
So there you go.
What?
Actually, Chris makes the
Nah,
show.
Colin does a lot.
Colin does a lot of editing. Yeah.
I do help make
I
the
don't
show. yeah.
physically make it.
I mean,
Whatever.
most of
I'm
y'all
just
are
teasing.
replaceable.
Whatever, except for me. I'm unique.
I'm indispensable to.
To the left, to the left. Sorry.
There you go.
What was
I'm
that
just
song?
kidding.
The only defining trait to be a future member of Boards and Swords host is you have to be able to put up with my nonsense.
I don't know
You're
how
right.
I
We
do it.
should be replaced.
That's the only. That's like if there was a resume thing.
When you said
It'd
that,
be-
I didn't realize there was a limit that would be exceeded.
All right. So before we get to that, though, normally this is where I would do news, but I don't want to have another show where we can't do a game show because it goes too long.
Yeah, because I actually got a good one this time.
So we're doing, and it's going to be like 2 months, 2-3 months of no news shows. So hopefully maybe next time it'll be the post Gen Con show. In fact, when you're listening to this, it'll be after Gen Con. So you can just listen to this and then watch our tweets and see like, oh, how naive were they and whatever.
Just close your eyes the whole time you're at Gen Con. Listen to the show when it comes out, and it'll be like you were there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But anyways, before we get to that, guy, I stumbled on there, so I keep always trying to say guys, but I should say y'all.
There you go.
I default to guys too, and I'm
Why
trying not
apostrophe
to.
all?
It's a habit I'm breaking.
Yeah.
But y'all, I finally finished Gen 7.
Oh, yeah. How was that?
So, let me talk about it here. So, Gen 7 is a 3 to 4 player game. It's from Plaid Hat Games, and it's the second Crossroads game where it's, there's a deck of cards that can affect the story and that sort of thing. I talked about it briefly, but just to recap, you are the 7th generation on a generational ship that's like a bunch of people heading to a new planet. You neither saw where you were born, nor are you going to make it to the next planet. So you're just like the standby crew.
Some life.
Yeah. And so it's a campaign game where you play 7 different games.
Oh, okay. So it's actually 7 games.
Yeah. It's not just a fancy name.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's the
7 has multiple meanings. That's
correct.
cool.
And so in this game, it's a dice placement game where you have different little boards that are laid out for all the different areas of the ship. You get a set of dice. There's a couple of them that you could buy with different things, but you every turn you'll roll dice and kind of put them into different seats based on the pips that you roll. Some of them are things you need to do to get resources to complete objectives, and some of them are these critical tasks that you need to do to keep stations operating nominally. And that sort of thing. And then there's a plot book that kind of tells you and navigates you through the story and telling you, okay, this episode, this is what you need to be focusing on, or are you going to go down this path or this path? And at the end of it, we find out there were 8 different endings to the game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So my caveat with I've only played through the whole game once. So I only saw one of the 8. I had a thought about just sitting and reading the rest of the endings to see if any of them were any different. The retail price in this game is $100.
That's MSRP
That's
retail?
MSRP retail price. This game is not worth that.
Mm.
So I mean, I explained it to somebody. There's $100 worth of stuff in here, but I don't think it's worth that $100.
Gotcha.
And what I mean by that is the opportunity cost of what you missed by not spending that $100 somewhere else. Like, you got to put this up. Like, this and Mansions of Madness are both $100 games.
Oh, yeah.
I would play Mansions of Madness 10 times before I would play this. And keep in mind, it's also my number 2 game. So this game isn't terrible, but the problem is it's just a good game. And at $100, you can't be just a good game.
Yeah,
You
I
have to
get
be
that.
a
Yeah.
great game.
Yes, $100 you need to be a great game. So I sat here thinking about, because the problem is like it's hard for me to explain because it's just it's not a bad game and it's not a great game. It's just kind of like that was fun.
What price point would you want to bring it down to make it worth it?
I think 60 would be pushing it, and even then, that's one of those like get all your friends to chip in on it.
I was thinking maybe an
Yeah.
MSRP of like 70.
Yeah,
And then you see it at cool stuff for like 60.
Right. I don't know. I feel like, you know how Asmodee kind of leaves all their different divisions alone and lets them just kind of like make.
Yeah, just do your thing.
Yeah. I feel like this is one where like Fantasy Flight and their models of putting out things could have been helpful. Like, I almost feel like this would have been better because I got to thinking about it. Things like Arkham Horror, where I've spent way more money on that, and it's still to get a piecemeal story where maybe the entire story didn't need to be in this one box.
Yeah.
Because it's as a new game, it's kind of hard to buy in a bunch. First of all, the box was packed so tightly with stuff, it actually ripped around
I was
most of the
wondering
edges.
what
Yeah,
happened.
that was out of shrink. That's how that opened.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How is the quality of the materials in comparison to
Everything-
like Dead of Winter?
Everything inside is great. Like it's thick cardboard tiles for the different areas. It's not like the plastic sheets or the
Yeah, because all the locations
stocks.
were floppy.
Yeah.
In Dead of Winter.
No, this is all thick cardboard chunks.
Nice.
Okay.
And it's all like the card stock for the card decks is really nice. The dice are really sweet. That's where I was saying there's definitely 100. That's why I could see why it's at this price point.
Yeah. Materials wise.
And the story development and art and everything going into it.
I can't take my eyes off this woman on the cover. She's got
Yeah.
her mouth dropped wide open. Oh!
Yeah. Now, I have to caveat this with it's possible maybe I just got the boringest of the scenarios.
So
the choices we made.
not just the endings are different, but like it could affect your games in the middle.
It's a branch.
Oh, okay.
Meaning like you get to this ending by making this choice, this choice, this choice, and this choice. If you make a different choice, you go to this ending instead. So
Interesting.
like the story, there wasn't a whole lot of. There was maybe one twist that there was like one twist in the middle of the game, but like the last game, it was funny because we're expecting like with Plaid Hat here some sort of Seafall-esque twist at the end, like maybe it turns out we weren't in space the whole time, or like turns out we're all clones, or
You were Gen 8 the whole
Yeah.
time.
we never left Earth and all that, and it was like no, you just went on doing your thing, and I was like, okay, that was I mean, it was an ending to a story, but
It's kind of like an apocalypse movie where the world actually ends.
no, it wasn't like that. Like there was
I
a
mean,
ending.
it's like
Gosh.
you expect it to be like, yay, the day is saved, or something drastically changes, but then it's like, oh, it's just the same.
yeah.
The Nick Cage movie, Knowing.
Yes.
Exactly.
Boom. Like, oh,
Spoiler alert.
okay.
Yes.
Bad movie.
That movie was so depressing.
Like the movie,
Actually, I think it was probably well done, but it was just depressing.
It was.
and here the story, it's not like it comes to a logical conclusion, but you can kind of see where that conclusion's going. There's no twist at the end, at least on the
Gotcha.
one that we saw. So,
It's kind of like, do we need to keep playing this game? I know I'm losing. That sort of feeling.
yeah. Well, no, not that, because we definitely we did pretty well in the game. It's just we could see the story beats coming.
I just mean you see it coming. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I meant.
that's sort of similar.
And
It's all coming.
it was one of those I was really just trying to get through it so we could get on to the next game for our campaign nights. So I was trying to think of who this game would be for, and the only big thing I could think about, it's definitely something where you can split the cost among a bunch of people, or you can get it used from somebody. Because it's like, in the back of the book, they're like, you've seen one ending, now play it again to see all of them. I'm like, there are too many games, and it was not that great. It's not that good enough to warrant. I'll just read the book to see what the other
others.
endings are.
This was not Pandemic Legacy.
So it makes it sound like I'm saying this game is terrible. It's fine. It's just, if this were 1 out of 10 board games released, this might be 6.
Okay.
But when you've got a flood of games, this easily gets lost in the shuffle.
I get that.
Also, I could see if you are a person in a game group that's I'm talking your area's gaming group, to where you've got 4 people that can play it, and then you could pass it on to another 4 people.
That's what
and
I was
pass it on
wondering
to
about,
another.
yeah.
It's almost like an expensive version of what I do with the unlock games, which is when I play them, I give them to somebody else. If you
Yeah.
could do that to where you could spread the cost out, everybody that wants in $5, and then just 5 different groups will play at different times. That would be entertaining
interesting.
and
Affordable.
affordable.
Economical.
Yeah. So yeah, there's my thoughts on Gen 7.
Okay.
We were gonna try and get in the Pickle Rick game because we need to get that played.
Yes.
But then somebody had to get in a Kickstarter today.
Yeah. Darn FedEx with their semi-accurate tracking information.
So for those of you that were creeped out by me licking a Batman box last time, Philip got his version of that game, which is he got
Yes.
the Power Rangers game from Renegade.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, I missed it.
we didn't warn
Too
you.
late.
Yeah, that's the wrong one. That's okay.
I forgot
Yeah,
it was Renegade because they don't do minis
The
games.
Power Rangers
do now.
Heroes of the Grid board game. It's so pretty. The
I
box.
mean, it's even got a custom box.
It even
It
has a
does.
custom shipping box.
Oh yeah, the
all
box
right?
even has their logo, Renegade Game Studio.
Which,
Yeah.
by the way,
There we go.
as of by the time that you hear this, our unboxing of everything that was in there, we recorded that earlier. That'll be going up on our YouTube channel,
Cool.
which is a nice plug that people should be checking out the YouTube channel because I've been
right.
doing a bunch of vlog posts for
Oh
it.
yeah.
And then quickly during Gen Con, we'll be doing an unboxing of the Bulk and Skull expansion just to show it off.
Nice.
The live stream for the hotel room.
But it even says right on it weighs 10.08 kilograms.
Nice.
Kilograms.
Kilograms. Yes.
Why would you kilogram? What did it ever do to you?
Let's not go there.
We don't talk about
Oh,
that.
hey. Sorry, there's someone in the chat. Hello, Matt Hawker. What?
Sorry, somebody zoomed in the text and it.
I didn't expect paragraphs to be typed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my word.
Or I can just hand Chris my phone real quick.
Matt, we need you to type in short bursts.
Yes. All right.
That's fine. I had it up here, and then I think I actually removed it.
This is riveting conversation.
What's the point he's trying to get across?
Help.
What was the summary of
Colin's
the
going
message?
to edit this out.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all.
Oh, I know.
That's right.
I know.
I'm concerned about Matt's entertainment right now.
Oh.
What's he saying? What's he
Oh,
saying?
he's just talking about too many board games. It's a wild industry. There's a massive influx of money and a number of big hits.
Yep.
But you still have no idea of them all, despite being pretty integrated into the community.
Oh,
I get
yeah,
that.
it's true.
So, but like going back to Jit, that's where I feel like if you're wanting to do a big thing, it needs to be in micro bursts. Like that's where I said the Arkham Horror style of game, where it's like, okay, we got a small campaign of 3. If you really like the game, here's more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas a huge box of an experience that's only like, Like I said, if you're going to pay $100 for a game, it needs to be amazing, hands
Yeah,
down.
for sure. Like
Exact-
his Power
yeah.
Rangers game, he's stroking.
Or like
Yeah,
Better than licking.
or 3+100.
I was about to say,
There's
you're gonna say,
250,
I was going to say, you
all right?
only paid $100 for that.
$250. All right, that's what I paid for all of that.
Does that include shipping?
No, shipping was a little bit extra.
A couple hundred more.
Couple hundred more.
I mean,
About
that is a
$100.
big.
I
Heavy
mean,
box.
look, they had to make custom
They
boxes.
had to make that custom box
It's got
right
that
there, yeah.
stamped on there.
The only issue is, I mean, it's a good thing you were probably home when it got delivered.
I was not.
Oh, when did it get delivered? Yesterday?
It got delivered today.
Oh, okay.
That's the great thing about so it got delivered today
He got the
at
text and ran home.
11:13 a.m.
I got the text at like, when did I? Hold on, now I can look to see.
Yeah,
When
it's
did
like-
when did I get the text to say it's here, it's here, it's here?
But my thing is, it says exactly what it is. So if some, well,
If some teenager was walking by,
yeah, or something.
Oh, yeah.
Although
There's
now that
no-
I'm thinking about it,
Oh, yeah.
who
Like,
would
there's-
really
there's
want to
no-
steal board games? Like,
Oh, it happens.
oh, I know it does, but the general like.
good thing it didn't
population
come around Christmas time, you know.
with all those package thieves.
Well, that's when you just gotta. I
Oh,
want.
you posted into
In
our
our
group chat. That was
Yeah.
11:34.
Okay, gotcha. I go home.
Well, you were probably like, oh, I should probably say something to everyone else.
Now he had to get
Sure.
home first. That's
Yeah,
why
man.
everybody else can wait. I gotta get.
Verify.
Actually, touch it and lick it.
Oh my word.
That's why I had
Make
the
it
ring
mine.
the ring doorbell,
Ah,
so you
yeah.
could like look and see.
Oh yeah, that's handy. You can
You
see
can
who
s-
steal your packages.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Except for our packages
it's
don't
gonna
get put
be
on our
fun.
porch because our mail person is.
That's
we
why
don't
I
need to go
that's
into
fine.
that.
That's why
We're
I
not doing that.
that's what I
That's
love about our house is we have the door that you could the screen door, so there's a little alcove, so people could just put it in there. And so most of the time, if you're driving by, except for the mail, the UPS and FedEx will do that.
Yeah.
But the
USPS.
USPS just puts it on the stoop on the
Yeah.
with the cardboard
Right,
empty.
right under the drain for the thing, practically, so it catches all the water.
You just got to get you got to opt for that like clear coat around the outside.
That's right. That's right.
There was one time our mail carrier was so lazy they just put it in front of the garage door. They didn't even bring it up to the front porch.
Nice.
Like seriously, Thanks.
But
Sorry.
going back into game stuff.
Going into game stuff.
Well, that was about because, like I said, I didn't want this episode to get huge. Do we want to just go ahead and switch into Gen Con, or did you guys have something else you wanted to talk about?
No, we don't have anything this time.
We
knew you were doing Gen7, so
we played Balderdash,
yeah,
and that was hilarious.
it was fun.
Did you do Beyond Balderdash?
No, it was just regular this time.
Yeah, my sister doesn't. My mom has that one, and we have that Beyond, but my sister just has regular. It was so funny. Colin was.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
we had the word trombash, and I wrote the definition: the act of beating up a trombone player.
Nice.
What was it? Oh, gunk hole. Another name for
Which
my
Philip,
butt.
yeah, Philip probably knows the true definition of gunk hole.
It's a nautical term.
It's like sailing to find a place to set anchor or something like that.
Mm.
And then the
sure.
last,
But yeah, I
or
said
one
another.
of the last words
Mhm.
was, what was it? No, I don't even remember. Dagon. Dagon. Dagon.
And I wrote, "Why day ain't here no mo?" Or
And my brother-in-law wrote, when you start drinking a little too early, and then you think to yourself, "Heck, where is my Dagon?" I'm like, oh my gosh, I had to read
That
this.
reminds me of like the redneck dictionary things,
Mhm.
like mayonnaise. Mayonnaise, a lot of people here.
Yeah.
yeah,
But you know what's great? Dagon is a male
Yelty.
mermaid.
Mm.
Dagon.
Matthew's talking about that board game prices will probably see a steep increase in the next year or two.
oh yeah,
Oh.
And talking about how counterfeit
GJ.
games and factories have made extra copies to sell. Definitely have seen that. That's why you got to be careful when you buy stuff and like don't buy on like Amazon necessarily.
Right. 'Cause
or
you're
make
not-
sure it's like a verified user or
That's
something like that.
that's
Or-
the problem.
No,
So fun fact for Chris gets to explain things. So when Amazon puts stuff in their warehouse, no matter who's selling the item, it always goes in the same bucket. So if you're buying, let's say, Pandemic Legacy, and you've got Pandemic Legacy from seller A, who's a friendly local game store that bought it legit through a circumstance, and then you have pseudo Pandemic Legacy that's a knockoff counterfeit version that's being sold by a thrifty by some, scoundrel. When Amazon gets that stock in, they both go in the same bucket or bin in their warehouse. So when you go to buy off of the seller A, the trustworthy source, they go in that bin and grab that game. But the problem is they may not have grabbed the real game. They may have grabbed the counterfeit game that got brought in from the scoundrel.
Yeah.
And now you've gotten a counterfeit game when you paid for a real game.
so how do you be careful on
You
Amazon?
don't buy on Amazon.
Okay,
Interesting.
Or you don't buy board games on Amazon. Or
That makes sense. Yeah.
yeah. That's where a lot of companies are trying to stress about buy it from our specific website or buy it from certified. Some places will be we certified authentic copies, like Cool Stuff, Miniature Market, those types of things.
cool.
Interesting. I did not. I mean, I knew about the counterfeiting thing, but I didn't know about like the
Right.
the one bin.
Well, that's
thing.
why it's gotten so big, because all it takes is a couple people throwing it into the system, and suddenly a lot of people have started getting counterfeit copies of games.
Yeah, that sucks.
Because you have the occasional person that buys the scam copy, but like most people are just trying to get a genuine copy and somehow end up with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pro tip:
We haven't bought anything. We haven't bought any games off Amazon in a long while.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
anyways, but Gen Con,
Gen Con!
I'm so excited.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be huge.
Huge.
By the way, when I was so Gen Con's coming out next week. If you don't know what that is, it's the largest North American tabletop gaming conference, convention, conference, whatever you want to call it. But
amazing.
we went through, if you go on BoardGameGeek.com, there's a list of all the games that are coming out, some like 500 something different games. I don't know about y'all, but I filtered mine by what was actually being released.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I excluded demos out
yes,
of
we
mine.
did as well.
And picked off some of our favorites on there. Just a warning, there was in my interested list, a lot of roll-in rights.
Me too.
There's only 2 on my list.
I
but
only
like,
put 2 on my list actually.
Yeah, the ones that the other games that aren't on my list are like the only other non roll-in rights. Like the rest of my list that's not in this 5 are rolling rights, basically.
That's funny.
It's up to 605.
Yeah, it's still updating.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why companies wait till the last. I mean, I guess they're waiting to see if they're actually going to have the game.
605. It was
Oh, that could be.
473 when I looked earlier.
Well, there you go.
Well,
they-
total, because you said it's like 600 something. You told me.
Yeah, are you
Oh,
are you-
no, I filtered. That's right.
I'm not filtered at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no, I filtered. Never mind.
Okay, so do we just want to go one by one and just circle
Yeah.
around?
Yeah.
All right, Colin, start us off.
First one that I put on there was one really in honor of Cindy because I knew she would want to get it anyway. We tried out Ticket to Ride London at Dice Tower Con. And-
Sorry, I'm looking at Matt's comment on it. Rolling rights, despite focusing mostly on addition and subtraction, have multiplied.
Indeed, they have.
And they've divided the community.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I put Ticket to Ride London on the list because we tried it at Dice Tower Con and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than New York.
I was about to say this is in the style of New York, where it's a quick, like 15-minute game.
Yeah, and-
Tinier version.
Yeah, and I liked it more than New York. New York, it was kind of it fell flat for me. It was like I was building to something that never happened. By the time the game was, I was like, oh, it's done. And this has more of an arc. Like
Gotcha.
I feel the end coming, and it gives you something nicer to aim for rather than just like the 1 point for connecting to certain spots. It's
Oh, yeah.
for
the
getting
tourist
different
attractions.
zones. You like all the paths in a certain zone, you get a certain number of points.
It's almost like they refined the formula.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. They have a giant version of Ticket to Ride London that I've seen online. It looks pretty awesome.
But yeah, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So, the first game that I'm excited about is, surprise, surprise, Sierra West. Another game we tried out at Dice Tower Con, and it was so much fun, and we're definitely getting it. And this one I put on my list because I knew Colin would want it.
Yeah.
And so it was just, I'm excited for it. You know, it's a action. You're like taking cards, but then you're technically choosing your actions with your cards, and then you're moving your little people to do.
Sort of kind of programming of sorts.
Yeah. And there's the mountain you're trying to climb up, and revealing cards, and there's all the different modes. We only played
Deck building with that.
Oh yeah, deck building. Yeah, we only played one mode, but so I'm super excited to try the other ones, and it just was a very good thinky game.
Mhm.
I really liked it, so I'm very excited for that.
So my first game is a roll and write.
Get out.
Yep, and it's a roll and write called Cat Cafe.
I saw that.
And
on the
I
list.
was just like, the title grabbed me, and then I went to reading it. Oh, it's a roll and write version of Cat Tower.
fun.
Literally, it re-implements Cat
Oh.
Tower.
How
Nice.
fun.
Like if you go on Board Game
A
Geek, it says-
dexterity game.
Yeah.
Huh.
So Cat Tower is one of my favorite games. Just it's like my version of Rhino Hero because it's cats.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
I don't know-
I've seen pictures of it. I didn't realize it was like a re-implementation.
Yeah, that's the weird part. Is I
I
imagine
noticed-
it's just it's by the same people.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
noticed
think
the
it's,
art was similar.
Yeah, I think it's just the roll and write in that same quote unquote universe of artwork and design. Looking at the mechanics in which it doesn't seem like there's a dexterity aspect to it per se.
Okay.
All right, Philip, do we want to just wait on you till the end or?
But no, I can put mine in there. So I went through and only because Chris told me about it, so I actually went and looked at this link, and
He
there
stopped
are
right as soon as I got to Ares games.
yeah, there are Battlestar Galactica tabletop minis expansions. So that's what I'm looking at, and I just got really disappointed because I went and applied the actually going to be for sale filter. And the Raptors and the Heavy Raiders aren't going to be for sale. They're just going to be for demo.
Well, they got to have something
Which
for
is-
next year's Gen Con.
Well, that's the point. If it takes them a year to develop that kind of
Well, I mean, I think the game released at last year's Gen Con.
stuff. Okay, that makes sense.
So that's a year, yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
which game?
The Battlestar Galactica fighter game.
Their version of
X-Wing.
X-Wing, yeah.
The BSG
Oh,
version of X-Wing.
Which you own?
yes.
Okay.
He
Yep.
got it at PAX Unplugged,
Picked
right?
it up right at PAX Unplugged.
Oh, that's
Yep.
right. I remember now. That was the only. That was like you beeline for.
That was as soon as I figured out that was there, I was there. Yep,
Yeah.
that was great. Yeah,
Cool.
it looks really fun. I'm just going through, and so when I was in my head, I was like, all right, so because this is all off of the reboot show. You got your Viper Mark IIs, you got your Viper Mark 7s, you got your Raptors. Those are your colonial good guy forces. Then you got your Cylon Raiders and your Cylon Heavy Raiders. Those are your bad guy forces. That's 5 ships. How are y'all going to make a giant, like, expanded universe minis game? And then I went through and I was looking. So they have a Heavy Raider that is a transport. And then they have a Heavy Raider. So the thing with the Cylons is all the computers are brains. They learn. So when it gets destroyed, it just goes back into the mothership, gets popped into a new, and it's learned all that kind of stuff. It's not like a human. Is it? So then we have a Cylon Heavy Raider veteran. He's probably been destroyed a couple times. He knows to, don't just follow that one Viper in between those 2 boulders because there's 2 guys waiting to kill you right there. Don't do that. And then they have different configurations of the Raptors. You got a full combat Raptor. You've got a search and rescue electronic countermeasures. Yeah. So they're doing stuff with it. So
okay.
Good.
I was wondering if they were going to make some kind of like partner with some graphic novel company. It was like make like an expanded. Like there was actually a second set of people.
Yeah.
When you get the epic rules and you actually throw Galactica out there.
Throw a battle star and a base star up there. Yeah, that would.
All right. Well, cool. My next one that I'm pretty psyched about is Tribes: Dawn of Humanity. And
is this based on a video game? Sorry, I mean,
I don't think so. It's coming from Cosmos.
Okay.
And I don't think they've ever done any IP type stuff.
It was just that there was like a Tribes video game. That's
I actually don't know too much about it. I've just seen a few pictures and I read the description and it seems pretty cool. I'm big into the whole like early man prehistoric stuff, and it just seems like a fun theme. It's got tile laying in it. I'll see what happens. Pictures are pretty. That's all I gotta say about that.
Okay. So my next game is a game called One Key, and we played this at Dice Tower Con too, but well, I hadn't even heard of it until we played it, so that was pretty surprising. So then I was like, oh, it's okay, this is brand new, this is cool. But it's kind of like the Mysterium / Dixit style like artwork, where it's very abstract, but it is kind of like those games too.
It's
and so
like
you have one person.
Mysterium.
Yeah, it's condensed Mysterium. So you have one person that knows this thing. Is it like a it's not a crime.
One of the pictures out on the table is like the picture that you have to narrow down to.
It's your key.
It's the one key.
Yeah. And so then you have, it was like 15, I think, pictures that are out. And you're taking 2 pictures and you're giving like a clue, like, okay, this is somehow related to my card my picture I'm trying to get you to guess. And so then your teammates have the opportunity to look and say, okay, you have to eliminate a certain number of pictures each round. And so you're like, okay, I don't think that these ones belong. And so you remove them. If you're correct, then you move on to the next round. If you're not, then obviously if you've eliminated the one key, then you're out. But so it's just kind of, you're getting it down, and eventually you'll only have one key left. And it was a lot of fun. So I'm very excited about that, especially because I love Mysterium, but it is such a big game that I think this could be pretty cool to adapt with a smaller group of people.
Yeah. One thing I actually liked about it's got more.
The art was really cool.
It's not like dream type artwork that you see in Mysterium and Dixit. It's actually like kind of, I would say it's a cartoony version of like the Codenames Pictures cards.
Okay.
But they're enjoyable to look at.
Yes.
It's not just like cool. Get lost
but
in
they
your
were
thoughts.
they're very weird, but it's very good art.
Yeah.
For sure. Not as abstract, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm very much looking forward to One Key.
Well, my second game is Wakanda Forever.
Oh my gosh.
So this is by Spin Master. And I don't know anything about it other than it's just Black Panther themed. And when I was looking at the categories and mechanisms, it was dice rolling, action selection, and variable player powers. And so it was just kind of like, okay, Cool. I'll try it out. So, and the artwork looks great. So that was it. That was pretty much it.
Nice.
I'm sold. I'm easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's that?
You did it already.
All right, Philip, you got anything else you want to say about BSG or? All right, with that.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Totally awesome.
All right, what else you got, Colin?
Mine. What's next on my list? Mountains. One of the new family games coming from Haba.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful artwork in this. It's I can't remember his name. It's the same guy that did the artwork for Stone Age, the board. He did like the cover and the board for this, and you stamp stuff. It's like you're going to national parks and like getting the stamps in your book. And it comes with a rubber stamp, and you actually ink up stuff.
That's so cool.
Cool.
So cool.
I'm pretty excited. I've really enjoyed all their family games so far.
Yeah. All right. So my next one is a roll and write. It is called Rolling Ranch. Go figure, right? Cindy finding a farming game. Anyway, so from what I was reading, you're a farmer who woke up late because your rooster didn't crow, and you're trying to figure out why your animals got out. Well, there was apparently a hurricane in the middle of the night that you didn't hear. I don't know.
Dun,
All your fences blew away and your animals wandered. And so throughout the game, everybody's rolling dice, you're rolling dice, and everybody is using. It kind of reminded me of Rainbow Ink.
Okay.
The way like everybody's using the dice that are rolled to draw something onto their board, and you're trying to.
Did you say Rainbow Ink?
Railroad Ink. Oh my god!
It's not just me.
It's not just you.
Well, you started it.
Railroad Ink. Anyway, and so you're trying to rebuild your fences and you're reconstructing your buildings and adding your animals back into your farm, and it just seemed like it was a cute little roll and write game. So I'm excited about that one.
Cool.
I kind of want to play Rainbow Ink now.
Now I'm just like butterflies in the sky.
Right?
I'm just thinking it's like a tattoo artist game. Rainbow Ink.
You've got fans of your beard in the chat, by the way.
Fans of the beard? I'm sorry. Let me.
Meanwhile, while he's looking that up,
Thanks, Joe.
my next game is actually it's another themed game. Go figure. And this I think has been out because I think I saw this in a store while I was on vacation in Myrtle Beach, and that is Talisman Batman Edition.
Nice.
Ooh.
I've heard of Talisman before. It's a Games Workshop game that's been around for a long time.
And it can be divisive.
Apparently, I've heard. I've never played the game, but I figure if there's gonna be a version for me to try out, why not try out the Batman version?
Yep.
Plus, looking here, look, dice rolling and variable player powers. There's also, it says roll / spin and move, so that could be a downside.
Wait, what did it say?
That's where
Roll
the
and
divisive.
move?
Roll / spin and move.
Oh no.
Yeah,
So I guess I count roll and spinning in the same thing.
I think that's where it gets people.
But I like the artwork because it's got the new 52 style artwork.
The what?
It's the
Is that
most
what
recent.
they used for?
The most recent style of comic books.
Oh, okay. I know nothing about comics. Sorry.
You have
See,
to
look.
dumb it down for us
that's
non-comics
really nice.
people.
Yeah, there you go. Like it's the more recent.
Oh, I did see this when I was scrolling through. It looks very modern.
Yes.
That's cool.
Well, next for me, I have a Western game, Old West Impresario. This is the sequel of sorts.
The predecessor?
To Pioneer Days. Like you've gotten to the town and you're setting it up.
Yeah.
We'll talk later about those two words. I don't know.
We lost
About predecessor
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
something?
Yeah. And it's dice drafting. You're drafting dice, building up a town, putting up different buildings. I don't know the specifics. I've seen pictures, read the description. Seems pretty solid. I enjoy Pioneer Days with the drafting system in there. Yeah.
When's there going to be a drafting game about drafting? And that could either mean the architectural version of drafting or like
Or the racing.
the racing drafting.
Yes.
Yeah. For a second, I was like, wait, am I thinking of drifting? But that's two different things.
Well, there's that one company that did like trader mechanic. The trader mechanic.
Yeah,
game.
like deck builder, the deck building game.
Yeah.
Where it was you were building a deck using a deck building game.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, so my next game is another roll and write. This one's from Days of Wonder, and it's called Corinth, and I've seen it a bunch online, like on Instagram and stuff.
It's
recently.
actually in our local store.
It is.
They have some copies
of Corinth. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So Corinth sounds really good. I don't know. I mean, I don't know too much about it other than it's a roll and write, but it looks good, and people are raving about it, so it's got to be good, right?
I almost would expect this to go to Target at some point.
Yeah, that
Like
wouldn't surprise me.
Like to introduce people into roll and writes, kind of.
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, Days of Wonder has a bunch of games in Target,
That's
so
kind
it
of
wouldn't
what I'm
surprise
thinking.
me.
I've thought about this game a couple of times too, just because it's a roll and write from Days of Wonder. That's really like the setting I don't care about, but just
it doesn't. But I like it.
yeah,
so.
it doesn't bother me, but I don't care. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're
I'm
indifferent.
indifferent. Thank you. That's a good word. And
I
I'm
knew words,
indifferent to the
Colin.
theme, but it's still a good production.
Right.
And I will always
what it
value.
seems like.
I will always value production.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so mine's a roll and write too, and
it?
it's also a good.
It's not a write.
Hmm?
There's no writing.
There isn't.
No.
Oh, it's just a dice
rolling.
game.
It's dice drafting.
That's still fine.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's
We
sushi.
own this.
Oh, you do? That's right. I think I posted about.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Finish.
It's Sushi Roll.
Yeah.
I like Sushi Go because it's going back to drafting games
Mhm.
and the artwork. I think it's by Game Right.
Yeah.
It is. Yep.
And
They've switched over to cardboard boxes from the tins.
oh, that's nice.
It's actually really nice.
Is the box just seems really huge?
It's big for what's inside. It
Yeah.
could be half the size.
Yes. There's the little like flaps that come up in the box, and everything's just in the center.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Maybe expansions.
I don't
Right.
know.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
it seems like it from what I've seen so far, it could be in like a codename size box.
Yeah.
Yes, it could. It could.
Very well.
It's a very good game, though.
Yeah. We actually offloaded Sushi Go when we got Sushi
In
Roll.
favor of Sushi Roll, yeah.
Yeah, we like it that much better.
Yeah, Sushi Go is a great game about drafting different pieces of sushi. It was one of the first drafting games I played.
Yeah, I
Okay.
played Seven Wonders first, but Sushi Go is definitely an easier one to explain
Yeah.
to
Oh,
people.
for sure.
I
yeah.
played Sushi Go first because that was when Chloe was playing a lot of games with me, and it was an easy game for all of us to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's great.
So there you go.
Yeah, Sushi Roll's great. You'll enjoy it, I think.
Well, then I don't need to worry about it here, and I'll just play
you
your
can play
copy.
with us, absolutely.
yeah. And my last one is coming from Smirk and Dagger. It's The Menace Among Us. We discussed this a little bit last time. Yes?
Is that me?
Yes, that's you.
All
In this
right.
case. But yeah, it's similar to Battlestar Galactica, but we got to do a full demo at Dice Tower Con with Kurt from Smirk and Dagger, and it was a fun time.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Philip the Menace doesn't really roll off the tongue
No.
like Dennis the Menace does.
I'll
but
figure it
that's-
out later.
Yeah.
That's just we'll fix it in post. But yeah, it's condensed Battlestar Galactica. You are just you're trying to survive, repair the ship that has gone down, and you are using up oxygen as it goes through the whole game, and you have everyone contributing help, so to speak, but some people may not be helping. They're probably hurting you, but trying to look good in the process. It's kind of like in Dead of Winter. People can contribute stuff, but contribute bad stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody
and
could
you
be
don't
the
know
traitor.
and you don't know who's contributed what. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to play that again.
Yeah, I think I want to play it with Philip.
Yeah.
I really do.
Really? I had no idea.
Anyway, whatever. So my next and last game is a game called Legendary Forests, and this is a yellow game. This seems kind of like a Karuba style game where everybody has the same pieces and like you're all placing them down at the same time, but how you lay your tiles down will be different than the other people, of course.
Mhm.
And like the way that you've configured at your forest at the end of the game will determine what kind of points you get based on the, what colors are together and, different there's different little scoring.
I remember how
Conditions and
we
stuff.
saw they had it set up at Dice
Yeah,
Tower
they did. It
Con,
was
and
gorgeous.
the tiles, although they looked much better than lanterns, the tiles similar style.
Oh yeah, they were
to
similar style because
lanterns.
they had different
The
like
color groupings and triangles in your.
because it was like tree tops is what you were looking at, and so it was different colors like pink and orange and yellow, and
It was very pretty.
oh, it was such a gorgeous game, and it just seems very right up my alley in because I love Karuba and that style of everybody has the same thing, but what you're doing with those basically resources is what makes your game different than the other people's. So I really like that. So I'm excited for Legendary Forests.
All right, my last game is almost like an expansion. It's the new version of the DC deck building game, Rebirth.
Oh, that's what that means.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you remember the Rebirth version of the comics that have come out recently?
Mhm.
This is the game that goes along with it. They've been
Oh, there you
following the storyline pretty well, but they stopped for a while and just kept putting out small expansions. And now they finally put out the Rebirth, which was a storyline or a reset of a lot of titles back in 2015.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Somewhere around there, by Cryptozoic. It's the basic game, but I've also heard there's
What-
like quests now.
Was
in
the
here?
Rebirth, was that on the scale of the new 52, or was it?
Yes.
So it's on that scale.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it was like the reset of the new
Of
when
the
they
new
brought
52?
when they brought like a lot of the other stuff back in.
Gotcha.
But the Rebirth, or in this game, things that look different is some of the quest objectives that they had in some of the other games, like the Crisis decks that they had, where you had to like try and do stuff, are now apparently in this base game.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm excited to see if that's because some of the Crisis decks have been some of my favorites.
Oh.
So
Yeah. Well, cool.
that's that was a gimme, but it was another. Almost half my list is comic based in some sort.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you surprised I didn't mention Clank? 'Cause there's 2 new Clank things
Just
coming
now.
out.
Yeah.
I just saw. So I was flipping through. I went
Actually,
to
I
the.
guess it's just one.
I went to the Renegade section of the list right there.
Uh-huh.
They got this thing.
Ah, crap. The Renegade
he's
thing is
trying
right
to-
underneath.
He's trying to play me off. That's what he's trying to do. Gosh.
Sorry, Philip.
I'm
what were you saying?
contributing. Something called Bargain Quest.
This is a second edition version of this, I think.
That's what it says.
Well,
Yeah.
they came out with, or at least, or maybe, no, the Terrors Below was their first Kickstarter, or I mean, aside from Overlight, I think. But that Steph had it at her game weekend.
The Bargain Quest?
Yeah, that wasn't with us. She played
Yeah,
it.
this is like a reprinting
I don't
of
remember.
stuff.
That's what it looks like,
I heard
yeah.
about it, or I heard the title, but I know nothing of the game.
I don't
Yeah,
recall.
yeah. It says it's second edition. Bargain Quest is a game of adventure and capitalism for 2 to 6 players. Players will take the role of shopkeepers in an adventuring town plagued by monsters.
Yeah.
Players must draft items and then secretly choose which items to place in their windows to attract wealthy heroes to their shops.
It reminds me of
I
like
wonder. Oh, go ahead.
Boss Monster.
Huh. I wonder if Renegade is just now, like, if they're transferring ownership of it, and that's, you know what I mean? Like, they took over the
I think so.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something to that effect, or they bought the
US
rights.
distribution,
Yeah,
maybe.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. But yeah, they the Clank Acquisitions Incorporated we got at Dice Tower Con, and then there is a new map pack.
Oh yeah,
Coming
the
out.
one that
The-
we just
it's
that
the-
just came out
The
like
Ape
last
Overlord
Yeah,
something or other. We
it
talked
had-
about it a couple weeks ago, or it
they
might have
co-
been last week.
Last episode,
Yeah.
it was like that day they had announced it.
Maybe that's what it was.
There's a Table Titans bonus pack for Bargain Quest.
Cool. Anyway,
Are they gonna have Clank Legacy there to try?
I
I'm not
don't know.
sure.
Clank-
Like I said,
I didn't look at the demo
I
stuff.
filtered it out
So
by
Clank Expeditions Temple of the Ape Lords is going to be for sale, $20 it says, at their booth, location
That's
2201.
so the next one you're about to read is the upper management pack they already have, which is like an add-on.
the Acquisitions Incorporated.
It also is backwards
Yep,
compatible. with-
Expansion 4. Yep, there we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Oh, the Temple of Ape Lords is an expansion for Clank as well.
it is. You have to have the base.
It's a map.
You have to have the original
Oh,
game.
expansion for
'cause-
Clank Legacy Acquisitions Incorporated. Oh,
Yeah.
look at that.
The neat thing about that is it's got minis, whatever, but it has unique starting player decks for
Yeah.
everyone. so everyone has like
We need to
special
try
cards in their
that.
deck.
Chris,
What?
there's a game on here called Lanterns Dice.
Okay.
It's not in your list. It's dice, and it says dice rolling, paper and pencil.
Okay.
It's a roll and write.
Yeah,
It's not in your
Sure.
list.
it's
Okay.
It's a-
Explain yourself.
it's the dice version of the game Lanterns.
Sure.
Yeah,
Take your word for that.
it is.
Okay.
People like it. They actually
Like
like
I
it better
said,
than Lanterns.
No,
I
that's
only had to narrow it down to 5.
Okay.
Or I purposely
Or we'd be
limited
here
myself.
forever? Okay,
Huh?
gotcha.
That's why I didn't include
you want me to put it
Plank,
in
'cause
my
it was a
list for you?
giveaway.
Yeah.
Here, I'll put it in my list for you. There we go.
Yeah, you had that spillover spot there.
Literally, yeah. Literally, we could have,
Just gone down the whole list.
Yeah,
like
kind
if
of.
you trimmed out rolling rights, then that would be most of the game.
What story, Zach?
If he might be thinking of when we were talking about Clank,
Hmm.
we were talking about Clank Legacy.
Yeah. What would be the story?
The
in that?
story would be, and that's what I'm really
Oh.
excited
That's what
about.
I'm curious about.
I'm excited because Acquisitions Incorporated is a D&D thing by the Penny Arcade guys, where they are an adventuring company that goes out and does
So you
comedic adventures.
That
But
explains the artwork, because the on the Acquisitions Incorporated thing, the artwork is in sort of the Penny Arcade style.
I would not be surprised. It's
And
their property, basically.
The annoying thing is though they change. So you know how the colors in Clank are green, red, yellow, and blue.
No, but
okay,
I'll take your
they're
word
green,
for
red,
it.
yellow, and blue. In the Acquisitions Incorporated, they give you like little player mat, I say, but it's just like a little.
It identifies
It's
your
a
color.
paper that shows you who you are and it
Yeah.
identifies your color. But they're green, blue, purple,
and orange.
and orange. And I'm like, what the heck? So now I want to know if the actual Legacy version is going to change the player colors.
Maybe.
It would have to, I would
Well,
imagine.
I would say looking just on this upper management, I got a green guy, I got a purple guy, I got a blue
Well, that's
guy.
that's what she's talking
That's what I'm
about.
saying. It's
Okay.
green,
That's
blue,
the
purple,
pack
orange.
they have already.
Okay.
That's the one we have.
But I'm imagining
gonna go with that.
I'm imagining the story of Clank Legacy is going to be like the bumblings of this group as they keep going
Yeah,
into
I'm
this
very excited
dungeon
for
to
it, like-
find stuff.
Obviously, I'm.
What are we
very
doing today?
excited.
The same thing we do every day.
Yeah.
Failing to take it. Oh, sorry.
About to promote our Patreon.
Do it.
Aha!
Well, you do it, Colin.
Yeah.
Why should people back our Patreon?
Well, they should back our Patreon because we're entertaining at some points, and we want to be able to keep improving the show. Maybe get nicer equipment than the sticks and stones and tin cans that we're talking into.
Hey.
I kid, but yeah, we want to be able to take and do more content, and so we have stretch goal levels or just goals.
Goals.
Just
Goals.
goals, really.
Stretch goals is like a Kickstarter exclusive thing.
So if we reach a certain amount, we'll be doing the Yarn Finder, like
Yep.
RPG
Yes.
thing.
Yep.
And,
Where everybody's going to play cats in Paizo's Starfinder game.
yeah, and then another level, if we reach that, Cindy will start doing a parody song. Like I'll probably
Every
edit
3
it all
months or
down and
something.
she'll
Yeah.
write the words.
Yeah.
And
Our very, very final goal is we're gonna have enough money for a coffee intern.
Oh my gosh.
No, but I should put that on.
We're not gonna pay the intern because you're an intern, but it's the money for the coffee.
Right.
Who drinks coffee here?
What's that?
That's true.
We're gonna start, maybe?
I
I
drink
don't know.
Starbucks coffee.
Oh,
Like
okay.
as someone in my work calls it, frou-frou coffee.
Yeah.
I only drink coffee if it costs $7 or more.
Exactly.
I don't drink coffee at all.
They got like fruit.
No, they
drinks
grind
there,
up the
don't
money
they?
and
Yeah.
put it in there.
Put
That's
it
what
in
makes it taste good.
I do like the
It's
creme,
the Goldschlager of
the
coffee.
creme-based frappuccino
See, there you go.
and the hot chocolate.
But that
Peppermint hot chocolate.
we're starting to experiment with, like I said, I talked about the vlog videos.
Oh
and
yeah,
You guys are going to
we're gonna
potentially
start
be
doing
looking
some things.
Yeah, we're-
live
hopefully.
streams.
Yep, I am I'm getting
Slowly?
close. I'm getting close.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So we're getting there, and the Patreon helps us be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
in the meantime, I'm going to hand the reins. Should I just shut this? Do I need to just?
If you don't need it, it'd probably be better for
All
you.
right. Well, I'm just going to close it because.
All right. So,
And then
All right,
Colin's
Philip,
going to
you
take
ready?
over for our. We're actually going to have a game show, guys.
All right, Colin's doing a thing.
yeah. So I have prepared a list of games, and this is going to be cooperative between the three of you working together.
Okay.
And you are going to be trying to get points. More points, the better. And what you are
But
doing.
like, is this a semi-co-op where like we all won, but I really won?
we'll say we all won, but you really lost.
Oh.
At least that's how you're going to think of it anyway. Because you are ranking Western games.
Oh.
Yay!
All right.
I already lost these. Wait,
So-
ranking them according to what?
So,
How bad they suck.
so what
Well,
we
they
are
just be
doing,
a tie at 12 then.
They'd be
I-
a tie of 1.
Oh,
I
that
have gotten 12 games. I've put them in order of how Western they feel to me.
Oh,
God.
I'm like, hold on. Western Lunges is not your favorite Western game.
Yeah.
This list is wrong.
So this is you are trying to arrange the games in order of how Western they feel
So-
to yours truly.
The theme in Western, how thematic they are.
Yes.
Okay.
I got this, guys.
All right.
Maybe.
Have we
And-
heard of most of these games?
Yes. I have mentioned. So I have played each of these games at least twice.
Okay.
Sweet. That means
Can I just
I've
say
played them
something?
at least once.
Yes.
Your envelope has the word "the" on it, and now I'm just like, the what?
I started to write something
Can
else
we
on it.
rearrange?
Yes, you will have an opportunity to rearrange at the end.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yay,
So
Matthew just backed the Patreon.
Woo! Thank you,
Thanks, Matt.
awesome. All right. So first game I'm going to give you. So
It
if
doesn't count as your shout out, by the way. Sorry.
if you get a game in the correct position, you will get 2 points.
Okay.
If you get it next to the correct position, you will get 1 point. Anything other than that will be 0. So there's a max of 20 points that you can get
Okay.
because
And-
you got 10 games that you're going to
So
be
we
inserting.
will tell you where we want it at first.
Yeah.
And then after all of them are out, we can rearrange.
You can rearrange.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So just to let people know, we have a piece of paper here that's got Western Legends at the top and Great Western Trail at the bottom.
Yeah, because even though it's got Western in the name, Great Western Trail doesn't really feel Western to me.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
I
What's
agree.
the first game?
All right, first game is our favorite, mine and Cindy's favorite game, Carson City.
Ooh.
And
Ooh.
I have a visual aid for those that
Oh.
forget what
All right.
games
This has
are.
got to be 2, 3, or 4. Right?
Hold on.
All right,
I got
hang
to
on.
think about this.
We're gonna really rely on Cindy for this game.
Yeah, this seems like a game where Cindy throws out a number and we're just
Right?
like, yeah, that seems
Well,
good.
Is this like the newlywed game? You're just trying to test your wife to see how well she knows you. Is that what's going on here? You're just like,
All right, I'm gonna put it at 3, and then Cindy can reorganize
yeah,
later.
I'm actually saying 3 as well.
All right.
Philip and I will do the gut response, and you can tweak it later.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. I like that. Oh, Norwex.
Norwex, yeah.
wrong
All right.
direction.
Next one we have is Montana.
Oh.
I'm gonna say 2 or 4 on that one.
Oh.
Montana. Isn't that where the dude wanted to move in reference to October?
You said that last time we mentioned this
You
game.
need
Raise-
new
All right,
jokes,
I'm
man.
just gonna
Raise
put that. I'm gonna
rabbits.
put that in 2 because I know he liked Montana when it
Oh,
came
yeah.
out.
Okay.
I'm going based on what I've heard him talk
And
about.
Cindy, you're happy with that?
Well,
I'll rearrange.
Okay.
She's gonna look at
He's
it.
told me.
This way, she gets time to think about the response.
All right. Next up, Carson City, the card game. This is the longest piece of paper I have.
I'm thinking like 7 or 8. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I'd say lower.
Because it's cards.
I don't
But
know.
it's
Some of
Carson
his,
City.
No, I
I don't know,
I would
some
say
of
around
his-
9.
some of
All
his-
right,
Yeah.
all right.
some of his
Yeah.
recent social media posts have been like, "Oh, cool, quick games."
Oh,
All right.
fit in your
Next
pocket.
up, next up we have Colt Express.
this
Okay.
is high.
All right.
All right. Let's
Train
just,
Robin in
let's
the
just
West.
slide that into
Ooh.
4 right
Yeah,
now.
we'll put that
that
on
one's
4.
very, very themed.
All right. Next up we have
Circle the Wagons.
Circle the Wagons.
I know he likes this game, but I don't know how westerny the game is. I'm gonna put it like midway.
Yeah. I'm okay with that for
I'd
now.
Say,
It can be fairly abstract, but it's got that
Somewhat.
beautiful best syllable Western artwork.
It
Yeah.
does.
All right. So you've decided on
And the
7.
scoring goals feel very westerny too.
Is there a Firefly game in here?
There is not.
What the? Come on,
Because I
man.
only played Firefly once.
It would have been down at the bottom probably.
It probably would have been below Great Western Trail. So far we have Montana at 2, Carson City at 3, Colt Express at 4, Circle the Wagons at 7, Carson City the card game at 9, and we'll go to the next one, which is Flick 'em Up.
This is
Well,
number
that's a
2,
dexterity.
guys. This is
yeah,
number
let's
2.
just
What?
like
No,
slide
you
it.
can't switch it now. We have
What?
to. We
Well,
have
no,
to wait.
because this isn't our
This
final.
We're just sliding.
yeah.
Well, now, okay, fine.
Okay, go. So yeah, Flick 'em Up is number 2.
All right, so we've got Carson City. Ooh.
Whoa.
We've got I'm going to have to edit that out. So we got Carson City at number 3 now. And
Do I need
Flick
to
'em
teach
Up
how to
has,
bleep in Audacity?
has moved into number 3.
Flick 'em Up.
Actually, that's a good
Welcome
name
to City
for it.
Walk.
No.
That's our new name for it.
There we go.
Before Western Legends, he said this was the most Western game that we owned.
Okay.
So
All right, next
Because they
up
had
we
the hats.
have
That's what it was. Because they had the hats.
Carcassonne Gold Rush.
What?
Carcassonne Gold Rush.
It's
It's a
Carcassonne.
thing?
it's a great
Yeah.
version.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
I love
I'm
it.
just
They
putting
started
that-
like an around the
I'm just
world
putting that
series,
in
and that was
A.
like one of the first ones they
Yes.
did.
Okay, gotcha.
We'll rearrange it.
All right, that was quick. All right, so we have
I'm just going on gut.
Gold West.
Gold West. Let's put that in
Oh.
6.
There we
Okay.
go. There's the,
All right, Chris says 6.
All right. And next
Oh,
up is
man.
Pioneer Days.
This is higher.
Oh.
Pioneer Days. I just mentioned that.
So,
I'm just putting it here just for now, and then we'll
Okay.
rearrange.
oh, okay. I was going to say Pioneer Day is probably number 6.
It's
Well,
high.
she's just putting it there to start because
Okay.
we're about to slide them all around anyways.
Yeah.
All right, and lastly we have Longhorn,
Oh.
which
Yeah.
involves
Just looking
like-
at the tiles, that's got to be
Okay.
higher than
Okay, I think the tactic here is to go in reverse order. Like, what does he think is the least westerny out of these
All right.
titles?
So
we-
far, we have Flick 'em Up as number 2, Carson City at 3, Colt Express 4, Montana at 5, and Gold West 6, Circle the Wagon 7, Carcassonne Gold Rush at 8. Pioneer Days has moved up into.
We're
it's
moving
si-
this as
and-
you're doing.
Yeah.
And they're coming up fast. They're coming up fast. Oh, we got Circle the Wagons going down, going
I
down.
think Circle the Wagons and Gold Rush need to be, or Circle the Wagons and Carcassonne.
And coming in
Yeah.
first is Lesty.
I'll just cut some stuff out.
Well, that's usually the point.
Okay. Now I'm second guessing Carson City being so high. Like,
Well, I think Colt Express is definitely higher.
yeah, it is very, very Western themed.
I don't know about Pioneer Days versus. I've never heard of Pioneer Days.
I think that Carson City is more.
Like, I know he
think it's-
likes it.
I know.
but-
I think it's
I will
more.
say Pioneer Days is like Oregon Trail, the board game, but actually a strategic game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Carson City,
Can you die from
it's
dysentery?
very Western.
There is disease,
Uh-huh.
but you can
So
everything
is
in
it,
that you
Oh,
can
is it
see.
below
man.
Pioneer Days?
I don't know because in Pioneer Day, this is tough.
I think
because
this is good.
Carson City, you got the
What was the-
dueling and you have the building up of your town and everything. It's got that westerny vibe to it. But Pioneer Days is the old West. Like you're going west. Go west. Oh gosh. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna say this is
So wait,
good.
what was the point? How did the scoring work again?
If you get in the exact right position, you get 2 points. Next to the right position in
1
either
point.
direction,
If
1
you're a
point,
plus or minus.
Okay.
and anything else, nothing.
Okay. All right. We're just like, okay, whatevs, go.
Oh my gosh. this
So
is tough.
there are 20 potential points. So how are you going to tell us what we've got? Are you going to tell us like how many points
He's
we
gonna
have?
tell us
I'm going to go
in a
one by
row.
one.
Yeah.
I'm
So
so-
All right.
I'm so
number one
nervous.
or number
So-
2, Western Legends number 1. Number 2 we had is Flick 'em Up.
And number 2 is Flick 'em Up.
Woo! I knew it. Okay.
All right.
11 points.
Number 3 we had as Colt Express.
And number 3 on my list is Carson City.
Oh,
Dagnabbit, I should have left
So-
it.
So 1 point for Carson
You
City.
made me
I'm just
move
gonna-
it.
I think I moved
There
it
we go, yeah.
specifically.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Number 4 we had is Carson City,
So that
we
gets
know
us
that's
1
wrong.
point.
Yeah.
Oh, but
He
you've
already
already
did
given
that.
us
Number
a point
4
for that.
on the list is Gold West.
No.
Oh, we were way off on that one.
Really?
This is my opinion. It's subject to change.
Really?
Wow.
You think that's more Western themed than? Wow. I mean,
right.
okay.
You
All
should
right.
go ahead and mark X's by Gold West and Colt
Oh, sure,
Express because we were way off on both of those.
More
All
than
right.
one off. Yeah.
So 5 we had as Pioneer Days.
Pioneer Days, and number 5 is Colt Express.
oh, okay.
so we
it
were
was
close.
just out of the reach.
All right.
Just yeah. I'll call
So
it
what
first.
was?
So what's number 6?
Number
Number
six.
6 we had as Montana.
And number 6 on the list is Pioneer Days.
So we get
you're
1
one off on
point.
that. I'm just
Yay.
going to mark them up here.
That's good.
All
All
right.
right. Number 7.
Number 7 we had as Longhorn.
And number 7 on the list is Montana.
So we get a
another
point.
All right.
So we were basically 1 off on a lot of these.
Okay.
All right, number 8.
We had as Gold West, and we know that's wrong.
Be Longhorn. Be Longhorn.
Carcassonne Gold Rush.
Dag
Oh, we
nabbit.
were way off. All right,
Oh.
go ahead and mark an X there because we were way off.
Oh, man.
All right, number 9, we had Circle the Wagons.
And the list shows Longhorn.
Oh.
So nothing for that one either.
Okay.
All right, number 10, we had Carcassonne Gold Rush.
And number 10 is Carson City, the card game.
All right, 1 point.
Because we had that as 11.
And so the last one is Circle the Wagons.
Last one is Circle the Wagons.
Really?
6
Good
out of
news,
20.
you scored.
6
I have
points.
different spectrums that I made
Oh, there
for
we
each
go.
person
All right.
individually.
Oh,
So less than 6 points. It was like, kind of the ignoramus with the jumping
Yeah.
peg puzzle. But so Cindy, I just signed you up for lasso lessons.
Thanks, dear.
Philip, I'm sure you're proud. And Chris, you fell off the horse and ate the dirt, but you're getting back up again, and I admire that.
I
I wanted
think
to
I'm just
read.
gonna stay here in the dirt
Yeah,
for a
I think
while.
I wanted to read the last one. I was hoping for the best. It was 16 to 20 points. Cindy, I'm gonna take you home and play any game you want as long as it's a Western. Philip, you just have like a blank stare. I couldn't think of anything for the awesome thing for you. I'm sorry about that.
it's okay.
And Chris, I'll be getting in touch with the Men in Black to make sure you won't have to remember what happened here today.
Can that still be the answer?
If you made enough points, it would have been true.
I don't have
Oh,
the red.
man.
I don't have the red or blue flashy thing. I can hit you really hard over the head
That's
with
true.
I got
No,
rocks.
because then I'll probably be in the hospital through Gen Con.
cognitive
That was
rehabilitation.
terrible. I mean, it was a good game, but we did terrible. I feel so
Wait,
sad.
What was the line
that-
in Avengers?
I feel so sad.
Was it like
I do flick them up, though. I'm proud of
cognitive
myself about
rehabilitation?
that one.
Oh,
I hit you really hard in the head.
Yeah, something like that.
And Chris moved Carson City.
What?
We
Hey.
were in agreement.
I know.
For the record,
But if you hadn't have, we would have scored 2 points for this one and 1 point for Colt Express.
And this is
'cause it
something
was
I like
5.
watching co-op games from the outside. Everyone arguing, this was your fault.
it was your fault. No. You know what this is? This is Colin's fault.
Yeah, it is.
I pitted you against each other. I am the mastermind.
I was about to say, if anybody's looking at me to think of relying on my instinct on a Western game, come on now.
As we all
Why are you giving me a pen?
It
we all
didn't need to move right then.
dive over the table at Colin. The camera falls over. We cut.
I can grab the giant dice and throw it at him.
There we go. Oh. We're gonna get one of those softball-sized metal
All right,
D20s.
so-
All right, new game. I'm going to have you guess, rank these dice in order by what I'm going to roll on them. What do you think? What number do you think I'm going to roll the highest on?
Oh,
The
my.
D20? You might be wrong.
Wow.
On a D6.
All right, that's all I got. That wraps us up for this week.
Hey, everybody, if you like this show, you got to check out boardsandswords.com. That's where you're going to find our other show, The Dirtbags of Holding. It's a live play podcast. We play RPGs. Okay, we mess up RPGs, all right? We are sorry to
I'm sorry,
every
we
developer out there.
We claimed we were the best people last time. Are you saying that was hyperbole?
Yes.
Okay. Also on a little bit of hiatus, but after Gen Con, we'll be back.
After Gen Con, we'll be back because we're
Cool.
taking the game group with us. We're probably going to buy some RPGs,
Probably.
Awesome.
and then we got to play them.
All right. Well, if you like this show, you can email us your comments and questions to feedback@boardsandswords.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Boards and Swords Pod or on Facebook at facebook.com/boardsandswordspod. You can also follow our individual accounts. I'm Cindy Pastorius on Twitter and Instagram.
I am ColaCakes196 on Twitter and Instagram.
I am Chris the Prof on both of those websites.
And I am Phil the Dirtbag on Twitter.
So we are also part of the Dice Tower Network, and there are all kinds of board gaming podcasts on there you can go and check out. And I just want to say that Cool Stuff Inc. is an awesome board gaming site, and they do a lot to support the network, so you should go check out their awesome sales that they have all the time at coolstuffinc.com.
Lastly, thank you so much for listening, for watching, and remember that we'll see you guys and see you all in 2 weeks as we talk about post Gen Con.
That's right.
You have two back-to-back us talking about Gen Con. And remember, in the meantime, that every gamer has a story, and the story for this episode was a Great Western fail.
I like it.
Apparently, Philip's goal is to break the GM in RPGs.
That's what I do.
It's what I do.
It's what I do.
I really want to see a Stargate minis game now. If we're gonna make a
Right?
BSG one, can we please make can we get the Power Rangers version of Stargate?
That would be awesome.
Hi, Jade.
Hey,
Sorry, we're done now.
She could have been watching the whole time. You don't know.
True.
she was just clapping at the end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Good show.
Finally, it's over.
Bravo.
And now we'll take questions and answers. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, look at that. We wrapped up before 8:30.
All right.
Because I need to
Sweet.
go to bed.
That's like a textbook episode.
I'm so sleepy.
We've got the formula now.
I've had to go into work early
Only review one game.
all week.
That's it. One game. That's it. All right.